n8n's been blowing up, as you can see on this Google Trends, as well as on YouTube. Even I have done a couple of videos. Now, when I had done my videos, I was using the free trial version because if you look here on n8n's pricing, they have a starter pricing at 20 a month and then Pro is 50. So I get 14 days free to use it, and then I need to pay £24, right? I thought that was it, so I just had to keep making new accounts every time, until some guy commented on my video saying, what do you say n8n is not free? It's a free open source solution when self-hosted. So I went away, had a look, and yes, it turns out it is. So if you go into n8n docs, we can see that we can host n8n. Now, what does that mean? Essentially, what it means is that we can run n8n on our computer, basically hosting their website on our computer, so that we can then run n8n workflows, which is super cool. So then, really, the only reason you would use this one is so that you have it running basically like the cloud. So it's like Azure or AWS, but for these workflows. So the way we can install it, there's two versions or two ways, npm or Docker. Now, if you know, if you're kind of privy, you may be like, they are not the same thing really at all. And you would be right. However, these are the two routes we have. And the reason they're not the same, really, is because Docker is what is used to essentially turn applications into containers. So instead of having this problem where we have this app, say, right, and then you run it on a machine, and you're like, cool, works on my machine, you pass it to your mate, and then he's like, nah, don't work on my machine. So to get around that, back in the olden days, you used to have to make a virtual machine, right, which was massive. And inside this virtual machine, you would then have the app, and you could be like, oh, if you use this virtual machine, you can run the app, right? And then it would work, but it's clunky and massive. So instead, Docker made a lightweight one, which literally just fits the app and a little bit more stuff, and then boom, it works. And so basically, like a VM could be gigs, whereas, a Docker container, like a couple of megabytes. So the way that this works then is you have n8n as an application and you can run it on Docker. Now, this does take a little bit more of managing, a bit more tech savviness. So we're not going to do that one today. Instead, we're going to use npm, which is going to be much easier. Now, the reason it's going to be much easier to get off the ground is because we can try it with npx. Literally, we just have to install npm. I'll tell you what that is in a minute. And then run npx n8n, and it will just load it up, and then you just go to this link, localhost 5678, and you'll have n8n there ready to go, which is super cool. So go back to here, npm, what is it? Well, it's a package manager for Node. Package manager essentially just meaning that it manages modules or packages for Node.js. So if you want to install something like n8n, it is a package which, if you imagine it, is just, oops, didn't mean that to go so far, but it's just a bunch of documents or files or whatever, which then are encapsulated as a single entity. So like in this case, we have it as n8n, and it will be a bunch of files, and these files will then get downloaded through the package manager, and then that's how you can run n8n, because you're just running these files locally. Now, Node, npm, what's that? Well, Node, you may have heard of it, Node.js. Well, JavaScript is a language that's used inside a web browser. So we have, say here, some web browser. That's a bit dodgy, but so that you can interact with the web browser, blah, 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 right? So that we can interact here, we have JavaScript, and JavaScript and dynamically update stuff, blah, blah, blah. Now, that's all cool in your browser. Another way to see it, right click, not in here, let's right click somewhere else and go to, how am I going to get this actually to work? Go here, right click, inspect, and then we'll see here, console, sources, blah, blah, blah. And in sources here, basically when I've gone to inspect, this is developer tools. So you can now see, for example, the HTML, blah, blah, blah. Very nice. And up the top, actually, you see GS focus, that will be JavaScript. Console, so you can see it as if there's like a terminal, a way to interact with it. See outputs, errors, etc. Then we have sources, and in sources here, if we go to where will it be? There we go, assets, JavaScript. And so we can see here we have some JavaScript. Now this JavaScript is running on the website, which is cool. But the way to get JavaScript to run outside of a website so just on a normal file on your computer, is to use something like Node.js, so some runtime environment that it can use. And basically, Node.js then allows you to write JavaScript, which you can run on your computer, so like server side, which is cool. So basically, what we have is the n8n application, which is a package in this case, which is just a bunch of files. And then these files are running via Node, or they are a Node project or a Node package, which then we can pull and run. So how do we do that? Well, first things first, we have to install npm. So if we go to how to install npm, I think you might need to install Node and it comes with it, if I remember correctly. There we go. Downloading and installing Node.js and npm. So Node.js is what I was talking about, and npm just automatically comes with it. So the way that we're going to do this is by downloading Brew. So I'm on Mac, and I'm going to use Homebrew, which is a package manager for my Mac. You can also use it for Linux. If you're on Windows, use something like Chocolatey, which is just the same thing but on Windows. And essentially, it's a package manager. So what it does is that it means that instead of you having to go and manually download stuff, so for example in this case, Node, instead of me having to go and download Node, I can just use brew install Node and it'll go and find it and download it. Now, why is this handy? Well, it's because, for example, on my machine, I'll have Node, I'll have Python, I might have some, Java, whatever it may be, right? And then when I want to upgrade these, I can just do some brew upgrade, and then it'll upgrade all of these packages. So it's, a single point to manage all of these, and that's kind of the same thing you do here. But these are packages specific to Node. So if I open up my terminal, and then I'll bring it over, and we can install it and get it running. So I'll put the docs on this side and this on this side. Let's clear that. So first thing we're going to do is install Homebrew. Once you've done that, brew install, and we're going to install Node, i.e. Node.js. And you see it's auto updating Homebrew, and then if you have packages that are out of date, it will tell you, for example, blah blah blah. But you can see here that it's away downloading Node.js, which is cool. So we'll have that downloading, and there we go. That was rapid. So what we could do here is we could use npm to install it. Now, if we do this -g, it would install it globally, which means you can use it anywhere on the system. But if you want to just run it, you don't want to install it forever or indefinitely until you uninstall it, you can use npx, which is pretty cool. So if you do npx n8n, it will just download everything that you need and then just run it. So npx n8n, press enter. Do you want to install the following package? Yes. And then we'll just let it install. So from here, the reason npx works is because npm comes with Node, and npx also comes too. So what we're doing here is downloading the files, and then it'll automatically run. It'll go to this localhost 5678. What is localhost 5678? Well, localhost refers to your own computer. You'll also see like 127001, which is like your loopback IP, basically your IP address, which is how your computer addresses other computers, and 127001 is how it addresses itself. So this is the equivalent of saying like my house, which is what localhost is. Localhost is essentially like saying my house. So when this downloads, this will automatically start running on this localhost, and then we'll have a click around, and we'll make our first AI agent locally, which will be cool. And I'll show you how to do that using locally running LLMs. Right, let's see, what's it saying? Node version is currently not supported, so I need to use Node v18, 17, v20, or v22. So let me see. Let's run this here. Your Node.js version is currently not supported by n8n. Please use Node v18. So let me see. Brew, uninstall Node. So what we're going to do now is we're going to install Node 20. So if we say How do I install Node v22 on Brew? Then it will give me the command Node.22. Then this should install the relevant version. And the way we're getting that is just if I here, please use this. Oh, please use 18, 20, or 22. I'm just imagining the most recent version will be the best version to have of Node. Brew it on like Node. And we'll do this here. Echo this. Copy that. Paste it in. And then let's verify the installation. There we go, v22. So let's do that there. Yes. Roughly what we've just done, and at least the one thing I want to point out here, is this export path. If you don't have any idea what that means, basically it's whenever you write a command in here, so you have, say, npx on node, right? That's the command, that's the first piece. Whenever you write that, your terminal has to go and find what do you mean by that? And so you have to have it inside your path, such that whenever it gets it, it knows what it means. So that's why when I'm saying node, it's like, we don't have node. What are you talking about? Well, it's because we hadn't set it in the path. So, editor is now accessible at that local host. Press O to open in browser. Let's press O. And there we go. That's pretty neat. Then we need to set up an owner account. So, I'll just go with me. I'll just make up some password. Next. We'll just get started there. Get paid features for free forever. Receive a free activation key. Workflow history, advanced debugging execution. Yes, I will take my free forever license. And there we go. So let's see if we can test the Ready to Go AI agent example. If we click in here, it's popped open our AI agent. This is amazing. We just have this all right here. Let's close that down. Like that, so it's a bit cleaner. And so the first thing I'm thinking is this would look nicer in dark mode. So if we go down here, go to settings, we'll just save that. Settings. If we go to personalization, theme, system default, let's change it to dark. Save. That's better. So I know the irony that I've made this dark and this is still light is shocking, but it doesn't matter. So if we then, let me just hit the main URL again. There we go. So let's open up this workflow. And from here, what we can do is, let's change this model. So if we click in here, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to change this actually. So let's delete that model. We'll change it to Ollama. Let's have it there. There we go. Ollama chat model. Set up a new credential base URL 11434 because that's where your Ollama instance runs. For reference, I'll show you what Ollama is in a minute. But basically, Ollama is a completely free way to use different AI models. I'll show you how to get that in a second. So we're choosing DeepSeek. Let's move that over here. Then we've got a memory, which basically is how many messages do you want to remember. We've got 5. That's perfect. That's fine. And then the tool, we have, say, a get calendar invite in, get all from calendar, Google Calendar. Let's just delete that. Tools are optional, so we can add them later. If you want to see more on how to create these kind of agents, let me know. I do have, as I had shown you earlier, the videos where I've created a RAG agent and just a normal one. So go check them out if you're interested. There's a reason that, if we go back, there's a reason that the videos are so long, because you do need to follow the steps to understand really what you're doing. Tools, basically just giving your AI agent something to use if it needs it. So anyway, we have this AI agent which is using Ollama, which is locally running DeepSeek. And we can just say hi. Let's send that message in. And then boom, goes out the memory. Boom, goes out the model. The model's thinking. I don't want to touch it because sometimes this kills your resources when you're running large language models completely locally. And there we go. Boom. So, as you can see, DeepSeek has replied with its thinking blah, 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 bunch of thinking. Will it stop thinking? Open. Can't see this stopping of think. Oh, there's it. Correct date for Sunday is Feb 16th. Yes, I mean, I just said hi, but whatever. There we go. So we have n8n running locally. So what is this Ollama thing that we've just used to run this LLM completely locally? Well, Ollama is a way to run language models completely free and super easy. So basically just download this and then it's just standard stuff, whatever it is, next, accept, install. And then once you have it running, you then can just come here and download whatever model you want. So we have, for example, DeepSeek R1. If we click in here, we can see that DeepSeek blah, blah, blah. These are the number of parameter models that you can choose from. So you can get 1.5 billion, 7, 8, blah, 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 all the way up to 671 billion parameter model, which if we see this drop down here, 400 gig, right, which is crazy. And anyway, remember as well that these parameters are run when you run a query. So although you may have the internet speed to download the 70 billion one or 671, you probably don't have the hardware to run it. Realistically, you're going to cap it about 7 or 8, and even then, when you click run, you have to wait like 30 seconds and don't touch your computer. Anyway, the way you can then run Ollama is, or once you've installed it, you can then, if we go over to the terminal, clear that. Oh, I suppose, maybe not. Can I create a new window, new tab. There we go. So if I run Ollama list, you can see that I have 3 models installed: Llama, DeepSeek, Tiny Llama, which were the same we could see here on the local host. If I open up Ollama, you can see in the models I had these 3 here. Well, what we can do to get the one that you want is you can either run it, or if you just want to download it and don't want to run it, you can just pull, and then that will pull it. So I'll just do one I already have, DeepSeek R1 1.5. Oops. And it would pull like this, and it may take however long it would take to download the file. And then once you have it, you can then run it. Now, you can just go straight to run, and that will just automatically pull it as well. So Ollama run, and then now you have this chat interface. So I can just say hi, then it will think and get back to me as DeepSeek. There you go, which is cool. I don't know why it didn't do it in here, but you know, it's a 1.5 billion parameter model. Though it's not the best. But yeah, so there you go, and /buy to leave. But now we have this running completely locally. Now with Ollama, the reason we have that credential, if we click edit, you can see localhost 11434. That's because Ollama runs on your system and it has an API endpoint of localhost running on your computer 11434. So you can see up here we're on 5678. That's the port, which is basically one of the input-output doors of your computer. And this one, Ollama API, is on 11434. And that's how you access the API, the way you would if you were going to access like OpenAI's API. And there you have it, n8n running completely locally with DeepSeek running completely locally too. So fully private, fully free. Now, if you want to learn more stuff like this, I'm starting a community called the Applied AI Community. It is going to be one of the links in the description below. Go check it out, join the waitlist for exclusive access when it comes out. I'm also developing an AI-powered app. If you want to beta test it, link will be in the description. Now, if you want to see any further tutorials, do let me know. Until next time, I'll see you later. Take care.